You want a golf simulator, don't you? And who can blame you? I had the exact same dream. And when that dream finally became a reality, I thought, I need to share this story with somebody else, and it might inspire them, give you some fresh perspective, add some humor along the way, and include some of those make sure you do this better than I did examples to save you some time, money, and frustration. In the end, this is an amazing space that we have. Now, I know that there are how I built my simulator videos plastered all over YouTube. So here's my promise to you. None of those stories are like this one. How do I know that? I haven't seen any of the others that had Amish builders help put together their space. We'll call that a little bit of a teaser as we share with you the story of the Michigan Golf Live Sim Space straight ahead. Hello friends, Bill Hobson here from Michigan Golf Live. And as you may have deduced, Michigan Golf Live is based in Michigan, where half of the year it's miserable outside. The other part of the year, we love golf season. It's short, but it is a passionate golf base in this part of the world. And as we reach the 25th anniversary season of Michigan Golf Live, I had a couple of decisions to make. One of them is we could just continue doing what we've always done. It's been very well received and kept us around for a quarter of a century. Or behind door number two was this idea to take things a level deeper and to be able to engage with our audience on a more consistent basis all year long. Well, to do that, I really needed a simulator space. But there was a problem with that idea. And the problem was that even though I had the raw square footage to put in something, I didn't have the ceiling height. I'm almost 6'5". Ceiling height's got to be a good solid 10 feet to give you a comfortable swinging space, and I didn't have any potential for doing anything of the sort. So I began dreaming a little bit. I grabbed a scratch pad, and with all of the artistic abilities of a second grader who was holding crayons for maybe the third time, tried to put together a little rectangle that showed how I could envision a simulator space ending up. That's as far as it went for a while. And then I began to look around the studio, the office, and the property and realized that if I'm ever going to have this dream become a reality, we're going to have to build something. It's going to have to be a separate building. So I contacted a local landscaper and I asked him if he would put together a bid for carving out a space for a building that is 24 by 16. Okay, so that's what we started with on our dimensions. So after contracting with the landscaper, I sat back and watched with the time-lapse cameras rolling as they came and did their thing, digging up the outside to lay down a crushed stone base. They did their work, and as they left, I said, is that going to be strong enough and stable enough? And the head of the landscaping team said, sir, that would hold about 5 of your buildings and not flinch one bit. Awesome. What do I know? So we have the base down. But again, I have no building skills whatsoever. So I began to kind of call around and ask family and friends for recommendations. I got some bids from commercial contractors that were way out of my price range. And then somebody suggested that I reach out to a group of Amish builders. They're about an hour and a half from where Michigan Golf Live's headquarters are located. And I reached out to them, which took a while, as you may expect. If you understand anything about the Amish belief system, they are not gadget, electronics, technology plugged in. But the quality of the work they do and the value at which they do that work is really quite remarkable. And so I want you to know this right now, I asked them for permission while they were here building the building. I asked them for permission to capture some of it in video form. That's what you're looking at right now. They were gracious enough to give me permission to capture them in action. And action it was. This entire structure was completed in one day. And it wasn't even one full day. The 4 of them worked. If you've ever wondered if work ethic, integrity, and quality is still a thing in this modern era, it is, and they did a fantastic job. So by the time they were done, we had a space that was an empty shell. It didn't have any of the finishings that you see right now. It was just the building. It was basically a big shed. And so now we were faced with the next question. How do we finish the inside? For that, I contracted with a really, really kind contractor who happens to attend the same church that I do. And he and another gentleman began making their way through with some, they call it one good side paneling, some trim, and we brought a painter in, and lo and behold, you see the nice dark navy blue, Wolverine blue, that now surrounds the entire studio. It's absolutely amazing. So as I see all of this come together, I realize that I'm really, really close to having a completed building. But now the rest of it really was in my hands to figure out the simulator itself. And for that, I began a simple Google search. That's it. I didn't have any other leads. I didn't have anybody else sending me to this person or this company or this company. Did a Google search, and the leading company name that popped up as the most positively reviewed was The Indoor Golf Shop. It's just outside of Dallas, Texas. Went to their website, didn't know anybody there. Began perusing, doing some window shopping and daydreaming because I knew my space. And I could see on their site the incredible options that they offered. These guys are amazing. And I said to them, here's the size of my space. What would you recommend? And we came up with this particular kit, so to speak. All of this that you see here, from the flooring to the screen, to the surroundings, to the launch monitor, to a projector up here that you can't see, to the gaming laptop that all came as part of this kit. All of that was part of the Indoor Golf Shop's recommendation for how I would get the maximum amount of enjoyment out of this space. We have another video you can watch about my road trip to Texas. You don't have to go to Texas. I went there because I wanted to learn the full story of this really cool team that still offers customer service in an age when it doesn't seem to exist anymore. By the way, in my simulator journey, I was blessed with incredible service and quality work from the Amish builders, incredible service and quality work from the contractor that did the inside, and incredible service and quality product from the Indoor Golf Shop. Please do your homework when you are preparing your simulator space, whether it's a building, whether you found some space in your garage, whether you carved out a spare bedroom space, you convinced your spouse to let you do that, whatever it is. Make sure that you are dealing with quality stuff, but I think just as importantly, quality people. So whatever size space you're considering putting a simulator in, maybe it's a bay of your garage, maybe you've convinced your spouse to give up one of the spare rooms, or maybe you have to actually build a structure. I really think it's important for you to find a company that offers good quality product, but I really think it's equally as important for you to find a company that offers good quality people and service, because the post-purchase conversations are many. It doesn't just end when the big freight truck pulls up and drops off the pallet and then you've got some assembly required on your part. There are lots of little questions that come up along the way. And the team at the Indoor Golf Shop was fantastic with me. And I have seen them now firsthand after our road trip down there. I've seen their customer service team answering the same kind of questions that I was asking. So the day arrived when the freight truck pulled up and dropped off pallets and big boxes full of what you now see behind me is the sim kit, because there is some assembly required, as you may expect. My building talents are minimal at best. I struggled back in the day with Lincoln logs, so I knew I needed help with this. Some can do this on their own. I'm not some. My good friend Ken was gracious enough to come over to MGL headquarters and help me out. The first thing that we did was the assembly of the screen enclosure. In reality, it's a series of interlocking pipes with some bungee cables that attach the screen quite firmly to the back. And in the end, this part took us the better part of an hour or so to put together. That came first. What we didn't know and should have asked about, this is one of those, make sure you pay attention when you do this. is we should have saved that part for last. Why? Well, because the next thing that we did was try to put together the floor. Now, this base is comprised of a bunch of these big puzzle pieces. They're heavy, they're durable, they require a kind of a rubber mallet to bang them all together, and it's made even more challenging if you put up a big screen in your way, right? So we got our own order flipped, and it cost us a little bit of frustration, a whole lot more sweat equity to be put into the project. But the good news is, all of the floor assembles like a giant puzzle, and there are 4 holes in this particular base, 2 in the back, 2 in the front. And then the carpet, the rug, the turf that comes, we saw the cutting of it when I was down in Texas at the indoor golf shop headquarters. The holes are all pre-cut. The holes for the putting cups, the holes for the hitting area, they're all pre-cut so that when you unroll your carpet, it literally just rolls right over top of everything. You have some tape that they provide, 2-sided tape on the edges, and the foundation is as firm and solid, but also as comfortable and cushiony as you could ever want. I'm going to give you a couple more specifics about this base because I want to make sure that you're doing it exactly the way that will benefit you the most. And one of the things you've got to do is make sure, listen folks, if you're using a base, a kit from another company, that's your prerogative. You still want to use the very best hitting surface in the marketplace, and that's this one. It's called the SIG Softy. My Golf Spy, I think, rated it the very highest in the industry, and most everybody else does as well. Why? Because when you're here in your sim space and you're taking swings, the last thing you want to do is injure yourself. And if you are hitting ball after ball after ball, if you're playing round after round after round on a surface that's too rigid, you're going to hurt your wrists. I'm just here to tell you, it's happened to a lot of people. The SIG Softy actually is a separate insert that goes down into the opening that was part of the base, and you can actually put a full regular tee in it. That's how soft and turf-like it is. And so even though I don't have the launch monitor on, but even though, so you're not going to see the ball flight, but you want to be able to make contact in such a way that you don't feel any shock to your system on the other end of that. So make sure you get the SIG Softy as part of all of this. So this kit would be awesome if all that was in it was the screen, the base, the cups, the Softy, that kind of thing. At the indoor golf shop, if you need it, they also offer the launch monitor. They offer all of the key brands of launch monitors. This happens to be the Unicore IXO. So that one mounts up top, and it all depends on your space requirements, depends on your budget a little bit as well. So pay attention. Here's one of the errors that I made. File this under the category of don't do it like this. I told you that I sketched out my building space like a second grader with crayons, right? Well, what I didn't calculate properly was the amount of space that I needed for my backswing, for friends to be here and have a place to sit, or the easy transition between sitting and hitting shots if you're playing a full round of golf on the sim. And I actually had a wall exactly where the camera is currently sitting, 4 feet from the back wall, and we were using that for some storage space. And I found myself feeling like I was swinging in a straitjacket because I didn't feel like, I know it wasn't that close, but you know what I'm talking about? In fact, most golfers have experienced at one time that nightmare where you're trapped in a hallway and you can't make a swing, but you're in a tournament, and it's just a terrible nightmare. Maybe I'm the only one, but I don't think so. That wall was in the way. And this whole thing was done, friends. We were playing, I had friends, we were shooting content, we were doing stuff, it was done. But I couldn't get comfortable. I felt like I was either gonna whack somebody in the head if they were sitting back over here, or that I was gonna come back too far and hit a wall, or that when people came in, they were kind of having to shimmy along the edge. You don't want that. You wanna make sure you leave yourself space, which means either a bigger room or maybe a smaller sim kit. Well, I didn't want to sacrifice the sim kit. And so just a short time ago, I actually asked my contractor friend to come back, and we completely removed the wall and had to re-trim everything into an archway. And now we can breathe deeply, and we absolutely love the space and how it's ended up. Do your calculations, do them better than I did. I'm not here pretending to have done this all perfectly, but the end result is exactly what I dreamed. It just took me a little longer to get there. Okay, so one quick review, one quick additional note. So sim kit, SIG Softy hitting strip. No matter what sim kit you use, no matter where you get it, I don't care if you make the sim kit up yourself, get the right hitting strip. That's a must. Okay, last step. You've chosen your launch monitor, whatever it is. Maybe it's the Unicore, maybe it's a Bushnell or a Flight Scope or whatever. Projector. The projector is delivering the results of all of this work. You don't want to have a poorly projected image of some of the more beautiful courses in your sim software, whatever software it is you're using, because it would sort of diminish from that's virtual, that's surreal, that fantasy land of being able to go and play the course that you've always wanted to play, have your buddies over for a skins game or a friendly competition. So make sure your projector is suited for your distance from the screen and for the space that you've constructed. And again, in my case, the folks at the Indoor Golf Shop were able to recommend and provide a projector, and they have many options there as well. That's the story of our sim experience here at Michigan Golf Live. If you so choose to check out the Indoor Golf Shop, we've got a link for you below. You can also use promo code MGL25. Go and enjoy yourself. This really was a dream for me to have this space. So at the end of it all, my hope for you is that you will enjoy your simulator journey, that you will find or create the perfect space for you to live out your dream, and that you'll play golf all year round, use it for a great gathering spot for you and your friends, and as much as anything, just pour yourself even more fully into the greatest game on earth. We'd love to have you check out the other videos we have on the Michigan Golf Live YouTube channel. In the meantime, I think I might get a little practice in. We'll see you later.